Hello, classmates. Today we will explain Project 4. This task will be explained in 2 key points. This time, let's learn about the commissioning of the wind turbine generator set workshop together. The purpose of the commissioning of wind turbine generators is to combine the various components of the unit in an orderly manner. The work of making it consistent. This ensures that the unit can operate safely, for a long time, stably and efficiently. The categories of wind turbine commissioning projects include workshop commissioning and on-site commissioning. Among them, the workshop debugging includes the debugging of the main control cabinet, engine room debugging and hub debugging. On-site commissioning includes commissioning items such as static no load and grid connection commissioning. When conducting the commissioning of wind turbine units, the following safety requirements must be met. First of all, individuals must be familiar with safety requirements for high-voltage electrical equipment, wind turbine units, and need to master the functions of each component of the wind turbine unit. Know what measures should be taken in dangerous moments. In addition, the debugging personnel must have received professional training and passed the training. The entire commissioning process of the wind turbine must be carried out strictly in accordance with the commissioning regulations. Finally, personal safety protection measures must not be relaxed. When encountering an emergency danger and not knowing how to handle it or being unable to handle it at the moment, please evacuate the dangerous area immediately. Next, let's take a look at the workshop debugging. The purpose of workshop commissioning is to eliminate as many possible problems that may exist in the main components of wind turbine units as possible. Ensure the normal functioning of these components. Any problems should be resolved before leaving the factory. Before conducting debugging, we need to complete the following tasks. The first is the preparation of debugging tools for each part and all kinds of equipment required. The second is the preparation of various power supply sources and communication wiring. The third is the preparation of various software and technical documents. The fourth is the preparation of safety protection equipment and various warning signs. The fifth is the setting, calibration, and inspection of the protection parameters of each component in the control cabinet, as well as the preparation of various consumables needed during the debugging process. Sixth, the cleaning and inspection of each part as well as the detailed inspection of the connection points of each component. Seventh, it is particularly necessary to remind that during the debugging process, it is strictly forbidden to touch any live media or any parts that can rotate. Smoking is also prohibited. During the workshop debugging, the first item of the main control debugging is the debugging of the power distribution function. It involves the debugging of various components both inside and outside the cabinet. Debugging of cabin delivery points. Commissioning of transformers and water cooling systems. 5 items including the commissioning of tower lighting and safety systems. The second item of the main control debugging is to debug the control and protection functions. The main focus is on the control function of the fan, the control function of the frequency converter, water cooling control and protection function, debugging of lighting control functions and safety circuits, etc. The cabin debugging in the workshop is underway. The power supply and communication debugging between the cabin and the main control cabinet is a very important link. The transmission of various data in the cabin and its operation require good communication transmission. In addition, many components in the cabin need to be powered by the cabinet to operate normally. Therefore, the transmission of signals and power must be guaranteed to be normal. During the cabin commissioning, the commissioning of auxiliary control functions and the commissioning of meteorological station measurement devices play an important role in the normal operation of the unit. Among them, the auxiliary control debugging items include cabin lighting, internal cabinet heating and cooling, lubrication system, blower, control cabinet internal and external temperature. The meteorological debugging content includes the operation debugging of anemometers and wind vanes, auxiliary heating systems and temperature adjustment, etc. The main power part of the nacelle, composed of the hydraulic system and the yaw system, needs to play a crucial start-stop role throughout the operation of the wind turbine. Therefore, the outlet pressure, braking pressure, pressure relief, and pressure storage tests of the hydraulic system must be properly debugged. In addition, regarding the main functions of the yaw system, manual yaw, automatic yaw, as well as the protection and braking capabilities during the yaw process must be debugged. The commissioning of the two major power units is the main commissioning content of the engine room. Apart from the debugging of the two major power units, the torsion cable function test of the nacelle also plays an important protective role during the operation of the unit. Among them, the items to be tested include the limit of unidirectional rotation and the installation position test of limit switches. That is the cable twisting speed test. In addition, cable twisting tests need to be conducted in both clockwise and counterclockwise directions. The third item of the workshop debugging is the debugging of the wheel hub. Since the hub is an important power source in wind turbine unit, therefore, the debugging of the hub must be carried out in combination with the power supply and communication transmission functions of the main control cabinet and the nacelle. From the schematic diagram, we can see that the power transmission of the hub arrives after passing through the main control cabinet and the nacelle. So the direction of power transmission is unidirectional. The transmission type of communication function needs to be bidirectionally transmitted according to the data signal transmission process of the cabin and the main control cabinet. Complete the debugging of all functions of the wheel hub. The wheel hub is being debugged. The auxiliary control has similar functions to the auxiliary control in the cabin. We can combine the debugging content of the cabin, debug the heating and cooling of internal cabinet, lubrication system, hub lighting, heating and cooling of the battery cabinet, internal and external temperature of the control cabinet. In addition, the most important functional module of the wheel hub, the pitch system, also needs to be meticulously classified and debugged. This includes manual open loop, closed loop, and pitch adjustment processes. Manual pitch adjustment process, emergency pitch adjustment process, and other adjustments. Finally, the battery pack still needs to be debugged. Okay, classmates, that's all for today's class. Thank you all for watching.